Hello.
Hello.
Well, hello. How how are we doing?
Hi, Helen. How are you?
I'm all right. Thanks for asking. It's been a while. We're a bit delayed,
Yep.
shall we say? I think it's been. I think we missed November, so we're having a quickie. We're having a quickie. Oh my, that's what she
For
said.
her pleasure.
We are really pushed for time, and normally we would sit and have a chinwag before we start, but circumstances being what they are, we are stuck for time. So I'm going to just immediately. You can talk amongst yourselves and tell everybody how you're doing and how your few weeks have been, but I'll pull up the emails while you're doing that. If anybody's got anything to share.
Fun, busy.
Yes.
Is that it? Okay, that was quick.
Good.
Well, good.
All right then. Right, I guess we need to find. I suppose we should go back to where we were last time. I can't remember what we've played. Do you remember last time we had Chain? You know, there was a lassie called Chain, 17-year-old, sent in our stuff, and we were quite impressed. We were impressed by.
That was a great song.
She got in touch and sent me another track, and that got played on Helen's mixtape last week.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, she's got other work out there.
17 years old. That was just incredibly. I mean,
it was impressive.
Was that the one that was like the Depeche kind of sounding one?
Yeah.
It was. It sounded like she'd used riffs from other. She'd used like riffs from other songs.
That's right.
It was kind of like.
She's the one that had like so many panning.
It sounded really. It sounded really like strong female 90s.
Like a girl band.
Elastica type stuff.
Yeah, like kind of.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Garbage.
Yeah,
garbage.
Yeah, so there's more. So she's got, just putting it out there, she's got more work out there, and it's all on the streaming sites and stuff. So check her out. Okay. Gosh, we've got a lot that have come in since last time, actually, guys. Look at this.
Nice.
God, where to start?
We should do a 10-second of each song version, do all of them.
I know, that would be good, Dave.
The speed dating have.
Maybe we'll make that the special. We'll make that like the New Year's
Actually, I've done speed dating.
Oh yeah?
And I did not like it because it was way too fast. Can't get any information from any of those girls. So I was like, whatever, I'm doing this again.
Did you say you did speed dating, or somebody did it?
No, I did.
Oh, cool.
I actually went to one. That was my first time, and I will not go back and do it again.
Okay,
way too fast.
Here's one here from AgencyVee. And the reason I've picked up on AgencyVee is because it's been sent by the actual band rather than an agency, right? So there's two tracks here. Pray for the Sun, Dangerous Ground. I'm going to go for the first one on the list.
Yes.
Let me know if I have sound.
Why should I have to try and make you understand? Spiraling down into another world. The reason to
All right. Who wants to go first? Right,
Uh,
Stefano, you go first, and we'll just go clockwise.
Sure, I'll be fast. I like it. Yeah, I really like it. Once again with the like the '90s kind of feel. It's kind of mixing some synthy stuff with kind of like guitars with a kind of an angsty, detached female vocal, which is really cool. Really like the bridge. It had a really like atmospheric, vibey feel. Um, I mean, the only critique I'd have is maybe a little bit of mixing and production issues, the vocal and kind of like, but I mean, other than a lack of polish, I think it's I liked it. That's me.
Jeeves?
I love it. The drums, I like the way they recorded the drums, but as you said, the mixing needs to be a little better. Vocals were pretty good, but I think they didn't do a lot of mixing on that because there was some nasally parts of her vocals. I guess it's from the microphones or something. It was, or in the mix, it felt like that, but it was okay with the vocals. I thought it could be better, but the synth stuff that they were doing with all that stuff was really good. Oh yeah. But overall, I think it needs to, I guess, mix properly and gel in together. It feels kind of this is one part, that's on one part, and it's not too inclusive together. I get the idea of what they're trying to do, but overall, I like the concept of the whole song. Yeah, that's me.
Jim?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I mean, it brought me back to an era of the late '80s, early '90s. Great voice. I agree. I agree with Stefano on maybe a little more inflection on the voice, but it's just kind of that shoegaze kind of vibe going for it. Um, Kind of like a slower version of, if you guys remember, I'm using a late '80s pop culture reference here. Tracy Tracy from a band called The Primitives.
Mm-hmm.
Crash was a big song that they had
Mhm.
around '89.
Oh,
Na
Um,
na 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 na
yeah,
na na
and
na.
Transmission Vamp was another one, a slower version of Tell That Girl to Shut Up, that kind of that girl power kind of sound to it. I echo the sentiments of Stefano there. And also with Jeeves, I did love the fact that they did a great blend of the synth with that fuzz guitar. The bass was great. The drums were great. Again, I mean, considering it was just like somebody who just literally just sent it out, I'm sure
Mhm.
if you clean it up a little bit,
Yeah,
I mean, it would be outstanding. I loved it.
yeah.
Okay. First of all, before I give my tuppence worth, thank you for everyone who's sitting there watching. That we aren't getting very many comments in, but we do have quite a lot of eyeballs. I can see you all hovering. Mostly they're over on X/Twitter. Feel free to send in your comments and let us know what you think of the tracks. Rival the Grey has said, "I like it. It sounds familiar. Maybe for a game soundtrack if tweaked a bit more."
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah,
Mhm.
My
Absolutely.
yes, 'cause it's very.
opinion, you're right. I was hearing massive Gary Newman influence in the keys, in the chord progressions, in the synths. The guitar lick, I was getting Susie and the Banshees / what was that other band that Susie was in with Budgie? I forget.
the creatures.
Oh,
The Creatures. I could
the
hear that.
creatures. Oh
Hear
my
that going
God.
on.
Mm.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
Now, as I've said before, I like the melancholy, right? I like melancholy in my tracks. I'm not. Most of the music I listen to is kind of miserable, and this was right up my street. No offense, AgencyVee, but this was up my alley. No, I enjoyed it. I heard a lot of influences from all over the shop. I liked the fact the guitar was quite heavy. Her voice is quite distinctive, but it felt like it wasn't. I felt like it was buried in the mix. Actually, like I felt like it wasn't brought out enough. If I had any criticism at all, that would be the only thing. Can't really find any other criticism. I would definitely play that on Helen's mixtape. I enjoyed it, and it was just the right amount of miserable for my proclivities. So, what did we think? Was it a hit or was it a miss? Congratulations, AgencyVee. It's a hit all round. Well done, well done.
Nicely done.
Thank you for sending it in. Rival the Great also says that it's a hit. Right. Let's see what else we have in the inbox. Robert Clark, Volker Milch. There's a lot of these names that we're seeing over and over again. I'd like to try and get away from the PR people. Toby Sonics we've played before. Caroline Park we've played recently. Bloca Cola we've played him before. It's the same people sending in their stuff, right? Which is lovely. I'm hoping to sort of, find someone that hasn't sent anything in before. Adam Happy Robots. Okay. Here's one here. Has that jumped over? Yes, it has.
Oh, I already see some bands I like on that list. Beach House, Cure, Galaxy 500.
No, I forgot that I had said that we weren't going to read the emails beforehand.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was going to just say.
We were going to play the track and then read the email. So let's just go straight into the. Let's just play it and then go back and read the email, right? So that we have our own thoughts on it. How do I get this? Why won't this open? Right, let me know if we've got sound. It's not opened, has it? Why is that not opened? What's going on?
Nope, nothing.
Okay, that's odd because it's opened on that. Please hold. Please hold.
Okay, we got it.
I'm not hearing anything though.
Me neither.
Nope, no audio.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Maybe close it and reopen it?
Maybe.
The mix is really quiet.
It is too good that we can't hear nothing.
Yeah, they make fun of. Ooh, there we go.
What? That's a really long outro.
Yeah, they really let it drink
They
out.
really lingered
Oh.
that out at the end, didn't they? Okay. We'll just go round clockwise. Jeeves, you go first.
Not a big fan. It was too monotone for me. I felt like I was gonna fall asleep. And the mixing, I feel like that guitar that came in first was cool and all, but it was drowning everything out. And every time the vocals came in and the layer vocals were on there, it was like, whoa, like it just killed my ears. I just couldn't listen to this. I had to turn down here. It was just a mess. I feel like the airiness and all that stuff was way too much. So, and I didn't like his vocals at all. And I agree with Rival. It sounded like the monkey's voice or whatever it was. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think I would go back and listen to this again.
Anything else?
I'm sorry to bash you, but sorry, I just no.
Tell us how
Me
It's
just
just
crazy
when
feel
you
it
say
is.
something and then you say and then you say something else and then you add and I'm like, is that it?
okay. I'm done now. Cool.
Jim.
All right. Well, first of all, I mean, I don't know why, because I had a PTO day off. So I had PTO day today. So I was off from the office. So I had chances to relax. And I was listening to a lot of music, doing stuff, driving around, meeting people for lunch, hanging out. And I was listening to a lot of stuff from the late 80s and early 90s for a change. And that airy, spacey type of vibe that this band was trying to emulate brought back memories of the Church from Australia. And also bands like Inspiral Carpets. They sing Two Worlds or When Worlds Collide, and House of Love from Australia. However, I second what Jeeves mentioned. The production quality wasn't up to par. The vocals were buried. It sounds like everything else is like over him, and he was very trying to be spacey and kind of out there, but it was hard to decipher what he was trying to say and what he was trying to do here, and what the message was. Outside of that, I mean, I did like that little, like it had that little like during the chorus and towards the bridge there. There's that little like tinny guitar sound like the Church has, which I liked. That was one of the few things I enjoyed. I just wish they would clean up, bring the vocals up, bring the mix it up a little bit. That's all.
Stefano? Stefano?
Uh,
He's
I was
stunned. He's stunned into
yeah.
silence.
I don't know what to say. I think I was trying to force myself to like it because I think this is the kind of music in the '80s that. That's my cat.
That's all right.
He still misses his brother.
Bring him in. You can come and sit with us.
So I never listened to this kind of music when I was a kid in the '80s because it kind of brought me into a weird vibe. I always thought it was too kind of, I don't know. I didn't really like the alternative stuff as much, but I can now appreciate it. So I liked certain things about the music, like the jangly guitar and the atmospherics and that whole alternative '80s kind of feel. Very Book of Love for sure. The vocal. I have a feeling that the reason the vocal is so buried. If you were to ask me to write out those lyrics for $1 million, I would lose $1 million. I don't know what he was saying, and I think there's a reason for that. It's because the vocal is not good, and I think they were trying to bury the vocal. I get it when that droning '80s vocal, like Book of Love, like you were saying.
Oh, House of Love. House of
House
Love.
of Love, is it, or is it okay? There was like
Well,
it
Book
has.
of Love was more like an '80s pop.
That's what I'm thinking.
The House
Isn't
of
Book
Love,
of Love
they
the
sing.
female vocal?
Yeah,
Right?
House of Love was they sing a song called "I Don't Know Why I Love You" from
Oh,
1989
there's the one
from
I'm
Australia.
thinking about is that band called Book of Love, and
There's
there's a
Book of Love
female
too.
droning
Yeah,
vocal from the '80s, and that even had that kind of a droning vocal, but there was control over the vocal. Like if
yeah.
you're going to do droning, you still have to control it. I don't think you can slur it into oblivion. I get the whole alternative thing, and I get what they're trying to get at. I'm like messy with the vocal, and music is kind of messy, and it's kind of a cool alternative thing, but it didn't gel for me. The vocal was too buried, and there's a reason it was buried. But the music was pretty cool. Like there was a cool vibe to it, but I can't pass this. So that's what I would say. That's where I stand.
Right. Before I give my opinion, Rival the Grey has said, okay, I'm hearing some Smiths or Arctic Monkeys. The voice has that vibe to me. The Smiths, yes, there is definitely an influence there with the guitar. I would say I could hear that, but more than that, and you mentioned them, Jim, in Spiral Carpets, and not Arctic Monkeys for me. Stone Roses. His vocals sounded
Yeah,
like Ian
yeah.
Brown from the
I
Stone
should have
Roses.
thought of that.
This sounded to me like, and I'm not trying to be mean, and I find it really hard to say negative shit about anybody's anything, but this was like Poundland Stone Roses. If I wanted to listen to this, I would listen to the Stone Roses. I would just go listen to the Stone Roses. Like there wasn't anything. There isn't anything that would make me want to sit and listen to this rather than just going and sit and listen to the Spiral Carpets or the Stone Roses. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like a poor copy of something. It wasn't unique enough. I wouldn't hear this and instantly know, oh, this is. I forget the band. Hang on, I've forgotten the name of the band. Cloud Studies. Cloud Studies debut single Ghosts. Maybe we should read the email, but before we do, that's all I could hear. All I could hear was in Spiral Carpets, Stone Roses, and a little bit of, oh God, what's his name from the Smiths, the guitarist. I can see his
Johnny
face.
Marr.
Johnny
Johnny
Marr.
Marr.
A little bit
It
of
did have
jangly,
the Johnny Marr
a little
riff.
bit of jangly Johnny Marr. That's with a dusting. That's what it was. A dusting of jangly Johnny Marr.
Yep.
Okay, let's quickly read the email before we decide whether it was a hit or a miss. Okay. Has that come up? Yeah, we can see it. Hello. New to Happy Robot. Put your teeth back in, Helen. New to Happy Robots and releasing the 18th of October. That's how behind I am, folks. I'm catching up, though. The debut from Cloud Studies is the super atmospheric Ghosts. Hope you like it. If you want to be removed from our radio streaming mailing list, please let us know. Thanks for your support. See, that was nice and quick and thingy. And it's got a big, long, list of their influences. Fans of The Cure, Beach Fossils, Cool Heat, Beach House, Galaxy 500, Dream Pop, with airy, plaintive vocals, a neo kraut rock beat. I wouldn't have called it that, to be fair. Layers of spacious reverb-drenched guitars. Yep, lots of reverb. A floating atmosphere that's perfect for a spooky season. It's not quite shoegaze and it's not quite goth. Apparently, goth gaze is a thing now, so let's call it that. Being influenced initially by
I've heard of it.
World of the Unknown Ghosts, a vintage cult classic filled with screaming skulls, phantom ships, and demon dog. God, this is really florid. We don't need all of this nonsense. The lyrics tell a more human story. Well, we couldn't hear the lyrics, any of them.
Nothing.
You want to tell a story? None of us could hear what you were saying. After the loss of a loved one, the protagonist is haunted by their memory, and each night in his dreams, he is visited by their apparition, which dances and serenades him. Maybe that was a.
Maybe.
Maybe he wasn't actually singing anything. Maybe it was just a.
Yeah, made it sound like words, but it's not words.
Ghost language.
So that's what
Ghost
God
is,
is
no, the ghost of the Christmas.
It's the ghost of Christmas past.
I feel like we're being so
Or
mean.
ghost of Christmas piss poor.
I feel
Yep.
terrible, but I just feel like it's a poor imitation of the Stone Roses to me.
Pretty much.
So what did we think? Was it a hit or a miss?
I'm sorry, but I gotta give you this.
It's atmospheric, but not all atmospheres are conducive to human breathing. So
Yep.
I think that's the first time we've actually voted something a miss all round, because there's usually some outlier.
yeah,
Someone does.
Yeah.
that's not a very good thing.
No, it must have been pretty bad. I'm
Pretty
sorry. I feel terrible
It
now.
wasn't that bad, but it's like,
It wasn't that bad. It just wasn't distinctive enough that you would know.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Anyway,
it's the vocal.
let's
Should be a hiss.
Half hit.
no, we all voted at a miss, Jeeves. Let's just be real. We can't take it back now. We've said what we said.
Oh, I'm reading the comment there. It says half hit, so it's like a hiss or omit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not I'm not even convinced it's a
Half
half
hit.
hit. I'm
It's
sorry.
not half. Yeah, it's not half.
You can't do half. You gotta either like it or don't like it. That's it.
Music.
Done deal.
Okay, let's get back into the emails then, because we
Miss
are pressed
T?
for time. We'll make
What?
this. We'll make this the third and final. What was that?
Jim's
You didn't see the Jim's thing with the T?
past tense.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. We'll make this the third and final one, guys, just because we're on a
Time crunch.
tight
Yep.
schedule. Normally we like to try and eke it out and have a chat, and I feel bad, but Boy George, Small Town Boy remixes. Oh, please don't be messing with Small Town Boy. That's a classic. You can't be.
Ooh,
Do we want to listen to that? I don't know if I.
that's an interesting proposition.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. I already dislike.
Do it.
I already dislike it just for the whole principle of fucking around with a classic. Do you know what I mean? Okay, let's see if we can open it up. Has that jumped over? No, I don't think it has.
We're doing
Oh, the music, no.
covers.
What they call
Boop, beep, boop. See, Jim and I are on the same wavelength. I was picking up what you're throwing down,
I
Jim.
thought it was the music.
No,
Yeah, that's what I thought
me.
too.
That's me going.
It's a hit. It's a
No.
hit.
Jim said we're
The
making
triple hit.
covers, and I said boop, boop, beep, boop. Right.
Robo
Okay,
dance.
so there's,
Calculator.
has that? Hang on. We're having too much
Pocket
Can you-
calculator.
Oh yeah. Holy.
Pocket
Ooh,
calculator.
pocket calculator.
carrying around too much here. Come on, focus, boys. Right, we've got
Focus. All right.
we've got four.
Ooh,
We've got
good song.
four. We haven't got a normal one. We've got four remixes. Boy George, Small Town Boy, Kinky Roland remix, Punk's
Is there-
Sound Check remix, Retrophobia remix, or Benny's version. Which
Punk.
one are we picking?
There's no like radio mix or like a regular.
Nope.
Wow.
Punk.
Radio edit? No.
Nope. We'll just go for
They're all-
we'll just go for the first one on the list, which is
Sure.
Kinky Roland remix. Do we have sound?
Yeah.
the at the end. Right, Jim, you go first.
All right. Boy, that hi-hat just made the song. Love it. Thank you, Helen. No. Okay, I'm going to be... Okay, I was a pimply, skinny 19-year-old as a freshman, and I could see the video for Small Town Boy. That's why I'm leaning back, staring out the window of my train. That was me with a Walkman with a cassette deck, listening to Small Town Boy by Bronski Beat. Fast forward to 40 years later. First thing I thought of, okay, it's another mashup, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, don't mess with the original. I was cynical. I was like, okay, I'm going to suck it up and just weather the storm and see what happens. If I have a couple of pints at me and a couple of drinks in me and I'm like at a club or they're playing that or something, I'll be like, okay, all right, this is all right. But then, there was, the Jimmy Somerville kind of trying to emulate a sound from 40 years ago. But you know what? As the song kept going and going, I realized what this artist or this band's trying to accomplish. They're trying to modernize this thing. I mean, again, you don't mess with a classic. However, if you're going to do it, you're going to have to modernize it and update it. Okay, I echo the comments field. I wrote down, get rid of the auto-tune on some of the vocals. If you stick straight with that vocal, it grew on me. They cleaned it up. They modernized it with some sounds that you would find on the Chill channel here in America and Canada on Sirius XM.
Yeah.
It's very... I love the synth at the end, too, how that came in about 3/4 of the way of the song. It grew on me and hooked on me. I felt like I was 19 again. But at the same time, I was like, don't miss the favorite. But I'm like, you know what? Maybe we need some more stuff like this. If you're going to redo something, this is the way you do it. I liked it.
Is that you? Stefano.
That's it.
So this is difficult because I love that song. It's a classic. It's iconic. Did it need to be touched? That was the question. And if you were gonna touch it, like Jim said, to modernize it, did they actually modernize it enough, or did they add a stock beat? So if I'm judging a remix right now, so I don't know what their original would be, but it sounded like a really easy stock beat remake of a classic and I liked his falsetto, which sounded kind of like the original version. But then I kind of, I didn't hate his vocal. I didn't like the autotune, obviously. I don't think it was necessary. And I'm basing it on this remix, and obviously I'm going to like it to a certain degree because it's a great song, because it was written so well originally. So it's hard to, go, this is a miss, because but I don't think it needed, if you're going to touch a song like that, you should really do something probably more creative with it. And I don't think everything needs modernizing. I mean, the 80s kind of, I don't know. If you're going to modernize it, change the genre, I guess, is what I'm going to say. I don't know if you should go from one electronic genre to like just dance. And it was kind of a stock beat. It was the same beat throughout the whole thing. It sounded like a demo to me, but it wasn't terrible. That's all I have.
Jeeves?
Yeah, I think I like the classic. This was like kind of like, what the heck, put a house mix to this kind of thing,
Yeah.
But the autotune got me a little bit. I'm kind of a junkie for autotune a little bit, but I think they weren't trying to be serious or anything with this. I think it's just trying to have some fun and just have people listen to it. I don't think they were like trying to kill the vibe or anything like that. That's why they added the autotune and played around with it and did all kinds of weird stuff with it. You know what I mean? So they tried. I would listen to it if I went to a club and they were playing this. Yeah, I would groove to it, no problem. But if I'm being critical, and I don't think they need to remix this at all. I think the original was better anyway, so there's no need. But they did it, so I would say okay. All right. That's me.
Okay. Well, some of you have already covered what I was going to say. I mean, obviously the auto-tune thing, but obviously I was cynical before we started because the first thing I said to you was, don't fucking touch a classic, right? The original Bronski Beat, Jimmy Somerville on vocal is a classic. I actually enjoyed this because I think it was different enough from the original that it clearly wasn't. They weren't trying to just emulate the original, right? First of all, the vocal was brought down an octave, at least an octave, from Jimmy Somerville's original vocal, which is a way up. Jimmy Somerville is a soprano. He's a way up here. The Boy George vocal was at least an octave lower or more. What I wish they had done, because the song actually, although it's a banger and it's a classic and it's a danceable, and we were dancing along and I was singing along with all the lyrics, it's actually a very sad song. When you listen to the lyrics about someone who's gay in a town where it's unacceptable or and they're out of sorts and they're moving away to a big city to get away from it, to find themselves. It's actually a really sad song. And Boy George, as a gay man who experienced something similar, covering this song, I mean, George must be 60 or in his 60s by now, right? And I suspect the reason that they've put the autotune on there is because maybe his voice a bit, it's aging. But I actually wish they had kept his vocal because it's a sad song, and that would have actually added an extra dimension of emotion to it. It would have not I don't want to say it would crack, but it is an emotional song. It's a sad song, and I feel like actually not having the autotune on it would have been a more authentic take on the actual still having the danceable beat in the background, but
You keep the vulnerability.
Vulnerability, that's the word. Thank you,
Yep.
Stefano. I had a brain fart. I couldn't think of the word.
Yeah.
Vulnerability, that's the word I'm looking for. That would have actually projected another level, another dimension. I wish they hadn't tried to auto-tune that. I actually enjoyed it. I feel like if anybody's going to cover it, Boy George is probably the best person to do so. I feel like I say, we're bringing the octave down, bringing the vocal down an octave. It wasn't a pastiche or someone trying to emulate the original. I feel like it was different enough. I hate covers generally, right? Unless you're going to make something unique, or different to the original. I don't see the point in doing them. But you could easily listen to both of these. I could listen to both of these. I'll always love and adore the Bronski Beat Jimmy Somerville original. I would also go and listen to this. I would, just like I love the Brandon Flowers track that sampled it. It's just it's a classic song with a superb lick, right? That lick all the way through it. I actually quite enjoyed it more than I expected to. When I opened the email, I thought, oh, fuck, they're not tampering with Small Talk Boy, right? And I actually enjoyed it more than I expected to. And that's a pleasant surprise for me. I was dancing along, I was singing along, and I just wish they'd kept George's vulnerability in his voice. That's my one gripe. I wish they had. And you're right, it is a remix, but I think they've done that on purpose. We did question why is there not a radio edit, and I don't think they've tried to cover the song. I don't think they've tried to do a cover. I think they've tried to remix, but with his vocal. Like I think if they were just trying to cover it and do a radio edit cover, it would be too much like the original, or it would just sound like a poor imitation of the original. I think that they've done it as remixes deliberately so that they're not cheapening. Do you know what I mean? They're not doing like a watered down shitty version of the original track. That's my theory. I don't know. I haven't spoken to George, so I don't know if that's why he's tried to do it. I'm just surmising from what I heard. So, what did we think? Oh, my phone's ringing. Why?
Can I add like a little
Yes.
little slight thing to it?
Yes.
I think because I like Boy George a lot also, and I like Bronski Beat and Jimmy. Like I love all those people, all those artists. I just felt like they stuck it through. I just can't get you out of my head. Kylie Minogue filter. It just felt really. That's what I kept. hearing in my head. So I wish we could have heard a non-remix to judge. So I'm going to judge based on this remix and not on an unheard original. That's all I have to say.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm really sorry. I'm getting a phone call in the background. I'm just trying to respond to that. Do you know, I've realised I was trying to message this person and I've sent it as an iMessage and not as a text message. So they've obviously not got it because they're not connected to the internet. Right, so sorry about that. I got distracted for a second, but it was quite important. So what do we think? Was it a hit or was it a miss, boys? So you're the outlier, Stefano, and that's
I know, and I love those
okay.
artists.
And that's okay. That's fine.
But I reserve
It's
judgment. If I hear the original, I think I'll probably. I mean, the non-remix version.
Oh my
'cause
God.
I love Bill George and.
He's awesome.
I suspect they probably haven't done a remix, non-remix version. Like just
Wouldn't they have to start with that to give it to the remix?
yeah, but I don't. I would love to hear that too, but I don't think they're going to release it because I think in their minds they're thinking nobody can cover that song, so we're just going to. Do you know what I mean? Like if it were me, I wouldn't be trying to cover it because it is such a classic. And you've got people like me going, "Don't fucking mess with the original." Do you know what I mean?
Well, that was the thing, and Helen, you made a very, very valid point earlier as far as they're trying to modernize it. And then you mentioned Brandon Flowers. I think about how people question the Killers covering Joy Division's Shadow Play.
Well, they did a fantastic cover.
And I thought it was awesome, but there were people who are like, "Oh, you can't miss with
those
the
people,
internist.
no,
You can't mess with him."
those people are deaf.
I know.
They did a brilliant cover of the
I
Joy
love
Division
that
track, but they
version.
also did a brilliant cover version of Ultraviolet by U2. In fact, their cover version of Ultraviolet by U2 was better than the original
Better than
U2
U2.
version, and I love U2. I've got all their albums.
I agree.
And they also sang a little Respect by Erasure on their latest tour. So.
And that doesn't surprise me at all because they've got superb music taste and they've always been influenced by superb bands. And I love the Killers generally, full stop. And Brandon Flowers, I absolutely would. Anyway, moving along swiftly. Right. On that bombshell, I think it's time to wrap up. Thank you as always, lads. Superb. I wish we could go longer and do an extra song, but I really can't. I need to crack on. I'm hoping to try to do something in between Christmas and New Year. I know that's only a couple of weeks away, but I'd like to try and do something, even if it's not JukeBox Jury, even if it's just a wee half-hour online chat or something. Just to wish people a happy New Year, Merry Christmas. We don't have to go through the emails and do the tracks if we don't want to. We can, whatever. We'll talk behind the scenes. But I would like to try and do one more thing before New Year kicks in, because I know that we missed an episode, missed November's episode, so we'll try and make up for it. Where can we find you all? Hang on, let me find my captions, my doodads. I'm not organised at all here. We'll go around. God, I've got too many. I need to get rid of some of these. We'll go around the same again in clockwise order. Stefano, you go first. Tell us where we can find you.
You can find me everywhere online. I'm Stefano Barberis. I'm a director, but I'm also one half of Breathe in My Leaves synth pop band. I do the music. And, yeah. Facebook,
that was
Blue Sky, Twitter, anywhere social media.
You're on Blue Sky. I'll need to find you on there.
Yes,
We'll follow each other. Okay.
Blue Sky for sure. Both Breathe in My Leaves and my regular stuff, but that's really political though.
Right. Sorry, I'm just flipping round. Jeeves, where can we find you?
I'm Mr. Twix. You can find me on Twitch and on Instagram. I do DJ set on Twitch. You can find me over there.
Okay. I love how you're just quickly bashing through all this. There's no long-windedness. Jim, where can we find you?
You me for long-winded comments. Hey guys, I'm Jim. My handle's Jim in Chicagoland here on Twitch. I've been live streamer now in my 10th year, host of Saturday Night Trivia. We have 2 episodes left. One is tomorrow night's General Knowledge and Music Rounds. And of course, you can follow me over on the X over at JS Scope and Jim in Chicagoland over on Instagram.
That sounded very professionally done. That was almost like it was scripted, Jim.
It's a full radio voice, eh?
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Helicopter behind me.
Is that what it is?
Oh,
Green screen, green screen. Oh, sorry. Green screen.
I suppose I should give my spiel as well, really, shouldn't I? I wasn't going to do that, but let's just... Okay, so I am Helen, host of Helen's Mixtape on 365 Radio, which is actually being rebranded to 365 Sounds, apparently. So if you can't find 365 Radio, it's going to become 365 Sounds. All my bumf and information you can find on bio.link/Radio Leggy. I don't think I've got a prompt for myself. I don't think I've got a tag underneath. But if you are a musician and you want to send in your tracks to be considered for JukeBox Jury or for Helen's Mixtape on 365 Radio, if you email me at radio@helenwallace.co.uk, attach the file on a 320k MP3 and a brief blurb on the email, that would be much appreciated. Send it over to me and we'll see what we can do. I don't know if I'm going to see you before Christmas, lads. So if I
Merry
don't
Christmas.
get to talk to you beforehand, have an absolutely superb Christmas. I'm sure we will talk to each other before New Year. So I'm not going to wish you a happy New Year yet because it's too soon.
No.
It's too soon for Christmas, bah humbug. Right.
I know, right?
Merry Christmas.
Be a
everyone.
Grinch.
Thank you all for tuning in. I know that there are about 47 people watching and nobody said anything except Rival the Grey. So Rival the Grey, you are the star of
Thank you for
this
being
week's audience. Thank you for joining in with your comments and hope you all have an absolutely superb Christmas and New Year.
Merry
Cheers!
Christmas, everybody.
Bye! Ta-ta!